All right. All right. By the way, as per my normal release note readings, once we start getting down to the physics changes, I am going to kind of just very briefly touch on things that are repetitive. So if it just repeatedly says setups were updated, I will probably skip stuff like that. I will make note of things that are like physically changing though. Like if there was a tire model update, even if it just says tires were adjusted, I will at least note that. But I won't go into great detail if it's repetitive across multiple stuff. Just to let you guys know. All right, so here we go. The iRacing 2025 Season 1 release build has arrived. This release includes new content, features, improvements, and fixes for the 2025 Season 1, which officially starts on December 17th. The iRacing Garage expands with 5 new bays for the Acura NSX GT3 Evo 22, BMW M2 CSR, Ferrari 499P, Supercars Chevrolet Camaro Gen 3, and Supercars Ford Mustang Gen 3. The BMW M2 CSR is being released as new free content to all iRacing members. iRacing is also excited to offer 2 new tracks, Hussett Speedway and Thruxton Circuit. The track art team has also completed a full overhaul of the classic New Hampshire Motor Speedway, bringing its look and feel up to modern standards. Also, this is something that I was spoiled on a little bit, but I'm okay with that. The test drive service, which is available whenever iRacing is down for maintenance, has been rebuilt from the ground up, is integrated seamlessly with the iRacing application, and is now known as Demo Drive. Our graphics and physics developers have tag-teamed an outstanding upgrade to the debris system, which now includes mud and gravel. And all debris types are now easier to see and impact racing much more realistically. We are pioneering some upgrades to the iRacing netcode system with this season release, including improving the experience for a lagging driver as well as everyone else in the race with them. The lighting for the entire iRacing world has undergone an improvement, which increases contrast and reduces some excessive brightness. Your spotter will now inform you if any damage you receive is going to have a negative impact on an aspect of your vehicle performance. AI drivers have also now been trained in the art of headlight flashing when passing. Our hydromancers... Okay, fucking... I'm sorry for cussing there. I was trying not to cuss this entire time, but... Hydromancers? That is an amazing name. Our Hydromancers have prepared the Formula V for rain racing, and all 5 new cars have equipped with a unique set of rain tires. AI racing systems have been programmed and implemented on 6 cars, including the Acura NSX. Okay, it's basically all the same cars, and the Williams FW31. AI drivers have mastered Thruxton Circuit and two of New Hampshire's road courses. And last but not least, our vehicle dynamics team has polished and included over 400 new and updated vehicle setups to give you the optimal... That's why I'm not reading them. That's 400 setups. I'm not going to read it. And setups have been updated. Yeah, right. Yeah, we're getting there. Prepare your racing rig for 2025 and get hyped for iRacing 2025 Season 1. All right, so here's the season highlights. The highlights include the Acura NSX, BMW M2 CSR, Ferrari 499P, Supercars, Hussett's, Thruxton, New Hampshire Motor Speedway, Demo Drive, Debris Refresh, Netcode Improvements, Specular Lighting Upgrade, Spotter Damage, Effects Report, AI Flashing Behavior, Formula V, and all 5 new cars are rain ready, 6 new cars for AI Racing, 3 new tracks and configs for AI Racing, and the new vehicle setups. Demo Drive. After the 2025 Season 1 release, the old test drive service will be discontinued, and instead we'll have integrated the system directly into the iRacing launcher. It is now called Demo Drive. With this change, there are no longer separate credentials needed to drive while iRacing is in maintenance. Instead, this service uses the same credentials you already use to log into iRacing and the iRacing forums. Whenever you launch iRacing while we are down for maintenance, you may now connect to Demo Drive, which lets you drive any content that is on your machine so long as it's up to date. It's, the way I always thought it was is that the Demo Drive server was just like a different server because of the way that like the old servers had to work, is because like the old system was essentially locked to the database, but they had to take the database down to do maintenance. Yeah. I always treated it like it was a PTB, essentially. It was like a PTB server in a way. So it was just a separate service that was able to go up while the other service was while the main service was offline. It makes sense when you understand like the logistics of like the past of how like even the forums would go down with the old server setup with the old login service systems. Weirdly enough, right in my wheelhouse because I did IDAS for 4 years. So I understand login systems. So that's how I kind of understand that one. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. More people will see it. It would be nice to see if they could do like a timed thing off of maintenance. Like maybe you can have like 20 minutes with a new car or something down the road. But you know, that it's something. It's at least improving. So I'll at least go with that. When we leave maintenance mode, demo drive will remain running for a period of time, and a countdown will appear to let members know how long it will remain up. That's helpful. As with the test drive service before, newly released content will not be available in demo drive until the following season. Understandable. Fully understandable. To me. I know that other people might not agree with that, but it's like, I get it. I would like to still see like a 20-minute, like a 20-minute demo chance before you buy a car. I think that would be nice, but I also understand, you know, licensing might be a problem with that, so. Season recap. A new recaps tab has been added to the profile page of iRacing. Here you can see a customized recap of your performance stats for the previous season and year on iRacing. This new feature houses the season recaps that were previously emailed to members with the addition of new yearly recaps. Thank God, because I never get the email. Ever. I have never once gotten the email. Ever. Yeah, iRacing Rewind. You can also view your recaps in the companion app via the new recap section on the profile page. There was an email, apparently. I also would love to still be able to... I still want to be able to register from the mobile app, just saying. I'm just saying. Sometimes I need to go to the bathroom. Well, I can't get a computer in time, okay? Because my stomach is a butt. Anyways... We have redesigned the settings page to enhance usability and organization. The settings are now available on a dedicated full-page interface instead of a modal window, thank God. This update introduces a tabbed layout with clearly defined sections, general preferences, network, and about. Fuck modal windows, I hate them. It especially sucks when you click off them and then they disappear and you lose all your work. Yeah. Of course, DDM, but that's something for them to sort out. You can always let them know on the forums about your feelings. Or I guess in my chat. That is a joke. All right. So yeah, you can do... Here it is. Manage your basic account settings, customize your user experience for preferences. Network allows you to configure connectivity and data-related options. So I assume stuff like that's going to be like setting the data packet size. If you have a really high-end computer, you can probably get away with the 750 megabits or 700 megabits. It's like one of my Japanese animes. And then for like, I usually put it up to 1 megabit normally, and then I turn it down for enduros. Because it makes it a lot more stable, especially because when everyone joins in for some, like, I think because of just like the amount of packets being sent from and through, something like that. But I've always noticed that enduros, I always struggle a lot more with keeping up on the physics threads. So just a fun thing there. So always recommend checking your network to make sure, like, if you're running into issues where you're seeing a lot of like physics skew, try turning that down. See if that helps you. Results and stats fix an issue where the driver standings page could show a different license class than the driver's profile page. Okay, I'm gonna be blunt. I'm gonna switch back to my normal model. As much as I love using this one right now, we're gonna switch back to this. We're gonna go back to the Makise model, because I need you guys to like be able to see my face when I go like, what does that mean? Okay? Okay. Also, oh, damn it. Hold on. Really? Really? Okay, I guess my tie is just gonna be stuck in my chest. That's fine. Whatever. I don't care. I'm dealing with the jank today. Let's keep reading. That is a lot of megabits. DOF Reality Paint Shop sponsor logo has been updated. For protests, a new entry has been added to the protest violations list. Unsafe rejoin. Kobe. Great. That's going to get a lot of use. Actually, I'm pretty sure this has been my only proper on-track protest that has been successful against me. I'm pretty sure. And it was because I was being an idiot, because I was trying to spin the car around at Daytona or at Bristol Dirt. And then I forgot that the next gen does not have the power to spin the tires, and the car just kind of listed lazily to the left in front of the entire pace field. It was so embarrassing. Yeah, no, I agree. It is a big one. Sporting code. A variety of sporting code changes and updates have been made, including better defined the coverage of the iRacing official sporting code, updated and improved all references to penalties and their types, added sections describing the pace car and rallycross racing, several new glossary terms have been added, internal document links have been fixed, and a new protestable offense, unsafe rejoin, has been added. You know what? Yeah. Endpoints on the legacy. Okay, this one's going to be probably more for like folks like me who do development stuff, but it's still important. Endpoints on the legacy member site that have been available for scraping data will cease to function March 11th, 2025, during the Season 2 release. All third parties are expected to be using the endpoints available in the /data API. For more information, please reference the following posts on the forum. There's the posts. So if you're a developer, if you're working on third-party tools, if you're me, this might be important down the road. So, damn it, I've been bonked. Application. Some underlying program parameters have been updated, and iRacing now explicitly will not support any operating system older than Windows 10. Race servers. Fixed an issue where the time of day offset for start time was not being applied to the final session time slot of any event for official racing. Well, that's an interesting one. That would have been weird to catch. Connectivity. Changes have been made to netcode to smooth adding cars back into the world and reduce occurrence of extrapolated car versus ground collisions. This solves an issue that could occur where drivers with poor connections could have their cars exert excessive forces when their position in the world was updated. DDM, please don't make me sad. So does that fix the bouncing, or is that just where it fixes like the weird thing where like they get disconnect and just slam into a car? Like, I don't know if that's what I'm confused about too. Is that flying cars, or is that like sideways? You know what I mean? It sounds like what causes the bounce, but the wording of that is not in layman's terms where I can even understand it, because it's like, because the problem is that it's so vague that it could apply to like 3 different circumstances. You know what I mean? But it's ground collisions, so I'm going to assume it's the bounce. I'm going to assume it's the bounce because it says ground collisions. So I assume that's going to hopefully reduce bouncing cars. I hope it's just, you know, what'd be funny is if it's just like gently placing them back down. Like, it's not like they fixed the bounce, but what it does is it just slowly, like, they like raise up slightly and then like levitate. They're just like a little UFO that we can actually say we have aliens. It's the opposite. Does it make them bounce more? Is that what it is, Scoot? Aliens, yes, Reska, like you. All right, let's get to the exciting bit. This is the exciting part. The dynamic track debris system has received an overhaul, adding new types of debris, improving their physics properties, upgrading their appearance, and vastly improving how debris is generated and moves around the track over time. Gravel has been added as a new dynamic track debris type. Gravel can be found on a variety of off-track surfaces and reduces tire grip on racing surfaces. Mud has been added as a new dynamic track debris type. Mud is generated when tires tear up the grass and behaves like a mix of dirt and water. The grip adjustment and physics behaviors applied by the various dynamic track debris types have been fine-tuned by science. Damn! You guys got science on the team! iRacing has science there now. Wonder how much that costs. I am just joking, obviously, but I love it. You know what? You know how I would have worded that? I'm gonna be blunt. I'm gonna get on the copy of this, right? I would have said through the power of science, and then maybe added an L-sci congru at the end of that. I feel like it needs an L-sci congru. Just saying. And then maybe like a crazy like dab type thing. Because you know we gotta be we're all hoeing Kyoma on the inside. Dynamic track debris accumulation and dispersion algorithms have been improved, with far superior tracking and accuracy for the amounts and locations of all debris of all types everywhere in the world. Dynamic track debris pickup and throw logic and parameters for tires of various constructions have been updated. Debris of all types can now be held on the car body itself instead of only tires, and it may be shed based on velocity change. Oh, damn! That's cool. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that is full ass. Guys, that's really cool. Yeah, no. Hey, guys. Flashy features posted on YouTube. I am flashy features. God damn. Adjust the amount of debris picked up by tires based on the wetness of the track, tire, and debris type. Aerodynamic effects pick up and move track debris. Improve the textures and rendering of all dynamic track debris to make them easier to see, especially at a distance. This includes rubber marbles, dirt, dust, grass, mud, and gravel. That's something that's super important. Pit crews have been trained to sweep up their pit stalls at the start of sessions. No debris begins in the pit stalls. Okay, so can we still drag debris into the pit stalls, though? Like, that's the question. Like, if it's, like, mid-session, that'd be cool. Actually, that'd be kind of funny. iRacing weather system. The Formula Fee has had its tires updated and is now ready for wet racing. All of the new cars come with it. Improved the precision for handling the start and end times for sessions within an event, and carrying the weather and water states through the simulated intervening time to the next session. So basically, the track state is better about moving on from session to session. Right? Water spray will now interact with discarded vehicle parts. That's neat. So it basically, like let's say you like lose your hood or something, it'll create little splashes on the water rather than just floating across the water. And I think that also means water spray will hit the discarded vehicle parts. So if like spray happens because like a hood is in front of it, it'll still bounce off of that, I think is what that means, actually. I have no idea, actually. It's kind of vague. It doesn't specify. It's like, okay, which water spray? Is it the track-driven water spray? Or is it the water spray that's already in the air from... Based off of Interact... I'm going to go with, it means that if like a tire is in the way, then the water spray will be blocked by it or something, right? That's actually kind of helpful, because if you think about it, water spray being from like a car in front of you being blocked by a part that's flying through the air could at least create some visibility, because that means that it's being blocked by that part, and then you can kind of see it a little bit better because there's not just water spray through the part, that sort of thing, right? So it's easier to see a little bit in a wreck, I guess. That's the way I'd see it. I don't know. I'm overthinking that. I know I am. Updated a fix for older issues where the water levels were re-rendering whenever a camera approached, causing the shape and level of the water to constantly morph or flicker. The effects of evaporation on temperature before an event have been updated. Now, even with static weather or at dirt tracks, moisture and track temperatures are more accurate. Fixed an issue that could occur at oval tracks using timeline mode weather, where local rain was not correctly forbidden to fall during sessions if the no rain option was enabled. This was traced back to a regional versus national weather governance dispute, which our lawyers handled brilliantly. Also, hi, Cobb. I love this. I love the reading here sometimes, because like sometimes it catches me so off guard. Praise be the lawyers. Race control. Cautions are now disallowed if the white flag has been raised. This fixes an issue where an automatic full course yellow can be thrown after the leader starts their white flag lap. This fixes an issue where the yellow flag can be thrown on a green-white checker restart if a crash occurs before the start-finish line. For dirt ovals with pitting enabled, and for asphalt ovals of size 1 mile, medium, and short, lapped cars are now allowed to pit with the leaders during cautions, reducing caution sequence by a lap. This has been done as part of trying to reduce the length of caution race restarts. These changes were originally done for longer ovals in 2020 and have been positively received. The new BMW M2 CSR has been enabled as a pace car that you may select for Fred Flawless Wheelman to drive. Fixed an issue where drivers could get penalized for passing other drivers. Oh my gosh, thank you, Jojo, for the raid. I also forgot to turn off the Hello Fresh thing. This was not supposed to be that, but whatever. I'm dumb. But thank you, Jojo, for the raid. Welcome in, welcome in. Fixed an issue where drivers could get penalized for passing other drivers and or Fred's pace car under yellow after the race has ended. Fixed an issue where drivers were unable to serve drive-through penalties on the final lap before getting disqualified. Fixed an issue where do not count caution laps where the second place driver was given the lead on consecutive cautions. Fixed an issue where the drivers could slowly creep forward on standing starts without receiving a jump start penalty. I've seen that a few times, actually. Fixed an issue where Barney would never throw the green flag if all drivers elected to start from the pits. These were very unexciting races. It makes, like, imagine everyone's like, I'm just going to start from the pits. That's crazy. Fixed an issue where Fred, the Flawless Wheelman, I feel like it needs a the. Fred Flawless Wheelman. I feel like it should be Fred, the Flawless Wheelman. That's just me. I don't know. And the should be capital. You know? Would drive the pace car down pit road before the race was over during a green-white checkered. Dirt racing. The initial bumpiness of dirt oval racing surfaces has been reduced slightly. The meme of the 2021 Hungarian Grand Prix, because that nearly happened IRL, that's hilarious. AI racing allows for up to 16 car models to be used in a single session. AI drivers have been trained the ancient art of headlight flashing when preparing to make a pass. If you're in their way, they'll let you know. AI drivers have gained a greater awareness of their vehicle positioning and will now be assessed incident points for out of control or running off track, just like their human counterparts. That's actually kind of helpful. That's actually kind of cool. All right. So we now have the Acura, the BMW, the Ferrari, the supercars, the Williams FW31. They've also added the 2 New Hampshire road courses that they have there, and then Thruxton. Several AI vehicles have received updates which improve their tire temperature modeling, making them far more accurate and comparable to a player-driven car. This improves AI drivers' accuracy and performance, especially at extreme temperatures. The cars receiving this upgrade this season include the GTP class cars, the Dallara P217, Ferrari 499P, Global Mazda MX-5, late model stock Lotus 79, the Truck Series cars, the Spec Racer Ford, the Street Stock Class cars, and then also the Autumn 2024 session for AI Driver School have come to the close. This semester saw a sharp focus in the emulation of human behaviors and blurring the line between man and machine. The top graduate projects and presentations included the following: Headlight Flashing Through the Ages, an Evolutionary Behavior Symposium. Taking Control of Your Life in Your Car with Special Guest Car Kit. God, that's a reference. Underutilized Racing Tactics, Passing on the Apron. A Geological Analysis of Loose Racing Surfaces. Learning from Nature. Observe turtles recovering from 180-degree rolls. Accepting hopelessness and despair, and knowing when to reset. Next semester signups, host a foreign exchange student from Microsoft AI. Yeah, I forgot about that. Well, I am glad to see that the Microsoft AI is being used more for the actual AI. I did get concerned about it being used for art, which I'm still concerned about. That's fine. AI drivers have completed some special focus training, including improving their skill lines, rain racing ability, performance, and more with the following additional content: GT3 class cars, Atlanta Motor Speedway, Magny Coors, Zolder, Lime Rock Park, Aragon, New Hampshire, Slinger Speedway Oval. Fix an issue in multi-class AI racing where the player's grid position could be incorrect. The Spotter has audited some of the AI driver school classes and has become more versed in racing knowledge. He will use this newfound know-how to better inform you of the damaged state of your car and how that damage may impact your driving ability. This includes the following new Spotter calls and updated calls, which, by the way, listen, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it like I'm from the Rockies, okay? I'm sorry. But let's see. Have you seen the... Yeah, I haven't seen that. It would have been funny. I am American. Listen wa America desu ne? It was terrible because I had to sneeze in the middle of saying desu ne. It hurt. I wanted to sneeze and it just hurt. Yeah, Magny Cours, right? Oh, did I say Coors? I probably got confused because okay, you guys have to understand, right? We have a beer brand called Coors in the state of Colorado. So I just said it habitually. I did not intend. Magma Course. Oh, that's fair. All right. Well, you know what? It's the French. Who cares? I say this because we have Aki on our team. He's our team lead. He's our team principal. You know? So we have to fight the French all the time. All right, let's get back to this. Spotter. And okay, so we get engine damage. Engine power losses include slight, severe, and totaled. Aerodynamic damage, speed reduction, downforce reduction, oversteer, understeer. Wheel damage, grip reduction, wheel alignment changes. These new messages only play if the spotter chattiness is set to high. Some of the existing messages about damage have been moved from high to medium chattiness. These new messages about how damage will affect your driving will also play during a requested damage report. And then we also have some new translations. We have the Spanish language, and then we also have 2 Italian language spotter packs as well. So for those of you who would prefer to hear the languages in Spanish or Italian, you now have a couple of different options for you. So I hope that helps you guys out. Pit stop. The auto fuel system has been added to all cars that were missing it. Some vehicles do not have auto fuel either by design or for other reasons, including dirt oval cars, the McLaren MP430, the Mercedes W12, and the W13, and the Mission R, and the Super Formula 23. So all of these cars do not have auto fuel, and it is either intentional or because they just don't refuel. Fixed an issue where fuel fill amounts were sometimes slightly modified during driver swaps. Yeah, that was annoying. Okay, here we go. This is my part. This is my section. Graphics. Greatly improved the specular reflectivity rendering for all objects in the simulation, providing a greater color value and reducing a whitewashing effect that could occur. This was a long-standing graphics issue where specular maps were essentially double exposed by the sun in cube maps, causing some blown-out whitewash or a milky tone in many textures. So, no, it's... no, the dirt cars don't refuel. And then this one is electric, so it basically, like... when you're recharging it, how do I put it? Yeah. So, like, these cars have in-race refueling banned. But it doesn't, this is just auto refuel. This isn't about refueling, this is about auto fuel. So, it's about, like, whether or not, like, the auto fuel system itself will work. Yeah. Okay. This also fixes an issue where you could see the sun in reflections on surfaces that were completely in shadow where there should be no visible sun. Specular rendering is now much more realistic with a greater range of intensity available. Okay, wait. Does this basically add shadow occlusion for the sun? Does this fix my long-standing issue of, like, if the sun is behind a building and it's in shadow, we now don't have the sun on the fucking track? I know I'm cussing there. I'm just so shocked. So if anyone ever clips that, just bleep it. I'm so sorry. I need to learn to not swear during these. I think that I'm gonna have to test that. Because that's been a long complaint of mine. That has been a complaint. Like, it basically, so what would happen is, and for people that don't understand this, like, let's say you went to Zandvoort, right? Zandvoort. I don't know how to say it, whatever. And you were on the start, on the grid, right? And the sun was behind the main buildings to the right. You would still see a reflection of the sun on the track in front of you, even though the sun was behind a building. And this sounds like that fixes that. So if that's the case, that's going to be interesting. And if it doesn't fix that, then I'm going to be upset because I'm going to be like, it lied. So, anyways, that's just something I wanted to point out. Dynamic track rendering is now always enabled within the simulator to ensure the proper experience with rain and track debris. Low shaders are now available to be used at all times as they are not dependent on dynamic track rendering being enabled. Oh yeah, they're going to be so mad about the performance. Like, they're going to be so upset. But who cares? Honestly, at this point. Like, they get way too upset about everything all the time. Whatever. It's not their CPU, it's going to be their GPU. That's a shader system. Shouldn't be CPU, it should be GPU. I mean, it might affect CPU, because it still has to do draw calls and other fun stuff, but whatever. The graphics options for anti-aliasing have been updated to be more intuitive. Anti-aliasing options include OFF, FXAA, SMAA, and MSAA. Multi-sample MSAA has its own subset of graphics options. Each of these settings are now orange to convey simulation restart is required for these changes to take effect. Okay, but I don't care about that being changed. I want them to change HDR. I want them to change HDR to HDRR. Because while it is technically correct, people think it's HDR the monitor and not HDR bloom. So many people don't turn HDR on because they're like, well, I don't have an HDR monitor. And it disables graphical features. Like, it also ruins like some of the color correction for stuff like skyboxes and stuff. Yeah, there's a 20-page forum post about how to pass. Everyone gets mad. Yeah, right. Higher quality filtering options have been added for MSAA. These filters consider a large number of MSAA samples to improve quality without increasing cost during geometry rendering. Filtered MSAA times 2 should in most cases match the old times 4. That'll be nice, actually. I would actually like this. This is going to be really, really nice for like VR, because MSAA is superior for VR, but 4 times can be a bit heavy during endurance races. So I usually run 2 times. I did update it to 4 because I've been doing not a lot of multi-class, but yeah, that'll be nice. Settings for anisotropic filtering have been removed. They just are 16 times now. You know what's funny? I've been using 8 times. I've been using 8 times for the past, like, year. Yeah. Oh, well. I mean, it shouldn't... whatever impact it should have on me should be minimal. My avatar probably has more of an impact, to be honest. Added new entry. A new entry, auto no dyne empty LOD, has been added. This allows objects to utilize a lower level of detail if needed when dynamic LOD kicks in. What does that mean? This allows objects to use a lower level of detail if needed when... I thought that was the point of... I thought that was the point of dynamic LOD! What does the setting mean? I mean, maybe it's just like forcing it so like it always starts at the lower, or maybe it's like forcing a lower LOD from the start. All right. Yeah, I don't know what that means. We already know about debris rendering. Tone mapping has been improved to better match the format expected by non-HDR monitors. This removes that milky look that was particularly notable at night. SSAO has been heavily optimized. Sky rendering has been updated to improve effective resolution. The distortion effect of water shaders is now reduced if the water is more shallow. I'm just clapping for everything now. They updated the popcorn effects version. Fixed an issue where we were filtering lighting on our cube map as well as downsampling. Oh, well then. Okay. Fixed an issue where specular maps and their effects were not being rendered in mirrors. Yeah, I did notice that actually. Fixed several issues with the graphics and replay options, especially with how the performance class slider functions, where the selection could sometimes not change when dragged, or was getting reset after restarting the simulator. Fixed an issue where some particles were appearing near the camera instead of wherever they should have been appearing. Yeah, okay. I can see where that... yeah. Fixed an issue for some screen space reflection shaders, especially for rain, that were not properly supporting single-pass stereo. Thank God. Y'all don't understand, like... This was awful. Fixed an issue in cloud rendering that was causing clear skies to not be as clear as they should be. Fixed an issue that was causing odd lighting of crowds. Fixed an issue causing SSAO to not be applied to trees. Does that mean that they weren't applied to people because people are trees? Is that how that worked? I mean, you don't have to enable SSAO. It's going to run worse for today, but it should run better tomorrow. But HDR is one of those ones where if you can run it, if you have the overhead, run it. Yeah, people equal trees. Yeah. No, okay, so this is funny. This is a joke that I have about iRacing. Essentially, if you want to make sure that the crowds, if you have crowds on like, by the way, highly recommend running crowds on high, everybody. I know that a lot of people are like, why would you run crowds? It just uses resources. There is nothing nicer than being able to wave hello to the little, to the photographer that's at the hairpin of Spa. It just adds a little bit of immersion. Plus, he's always like taking your picture as you're driving by, and it's really cool. So anyways, this applies if you run any crowds on. If you go to something like Indianapolis Motor Speedway, if you don't have 2-pass trees on, you may notice that the crowds don't render at full distance. So like if you're in turn 4, you will not see crowds in turn 1. But if you turn on 2-pass trees, it adds an additional rendering pass during the rendering stuff that I've discussed in the past. And then they will render the people in the crowd in the distance. So you'll be able to see crowds all the way to the distance of the track. Thus, crowds are people, or crowds are trees. People are trees. Because 2-pass trees has to be on for them to render at a distance. Oh, that DDM, that's permanent now, though. You're going to have it on now. So, good luck. No, it's Soylent trees now. People are crabs. All right, audio. Audio spatial separation has been optimized for cockpit view cameras. The in-car stereo and surround sound array has now been improved with a wider soundstage to allow for a truer representation of our sound recordings, which are largely done in a 360 or binaural formats. This enhances realism and your driving auditory experience for all sound systems ranging from headsets to speakers, stereo speakers to surround sound systems. By the way, Sam, if you want to interject at any point during this section, feel free. All members now have the audio API set to X Audio. If it is necessary, direct sound can still be used, but after running the simulator in the app.ini file, dev speaker API becomes dev speaker API select with a value of 2. If you need to use direct sound for your hardware to function, change the value to 1. I agree, but I think they're doing this just to make sure that they don't have any more issues. A volume slider has been added to the replay options menu to control the volume in replay. Thank God. Oh, thank God. You guys don't understand. Oh my God. It's so quiet when I'm in the cockpit, but the replay is so loud, and I like the fact that I can now do this separately. Thank God. Also, yeah, I love a good clock smash. Fixed an issue where code clock smash could be triggered whenever any audio device properties were changed. Fixed a rare issue where X Audio 2 crashes. I love that. I just love that. It's just straight up. By the way, I love how Reska's basically pulling a Joseph's Joestar. It's like, next you'll say clock smash. Updated the processing for replays that were captured with vehicles still using the original damage model. Oh, for replays from the past. Okay. Fixed an issue where the replay camera could violently shake. Controls. For all stock cars, force feedback should now stay smooth without large spikes when driving at about 25 miles per hour. Here we go. GTP class cars. These vehicles now correctly utilize the MGUK while in the pits, except for the Ferrari 499P. Tire model and parameters have been updated. Convection cooling for tires has been updated. Rain tires have been updated. Plank shapes have now been updated to better match the real-world skid positions. Oh, okay. Pit scripts have been updated to allow changing of any 2 tires for the same time cost, reduced overall time variance, and aligned refueling rate to real-world rules, 40 seconds to fill the tank. Four-wheel drive hybrid compared to rear-wheel drive hybrid and LMDH car that makes up the rest of the iRacing GTP class. Okay. Garage tooltips have been updated to explain that rear end gear ratios have limited selections at many tracks. That's for the NASCAR Cup Series. Next gen, reworked aerodynamic damage penalties provide greater downforce loss and a reduced drag penalty. Also, if your engine or wheels sustain heavy enough damage, it may be beyond your pit crew's skill to repair. You're toast. So they brought back proper meatballing. They brought back proper you're done. Race is over. Don't go back out on the track, you silly goose. Garage tooltip, wait. Greater downforce loss and a reduced drag penalty. Okay. Garage tooltips have been updated to explain... Well, we had that, but then we lost it with the new damage model. There's some things that we've lost with the new damage model. The old damage model had a lot of cool stuff, but it also was really broken. Garage tooltips have been updated to explain... Yeah, okay. Fixed an issue where hood flaps were not deforming correctly when opened or damaged. Okay. Fixed a driver animation hiccup. Interesting. Yeah, probably. The dashboard metal color has been improved for the 87 Cups for the trucks. Reworked aerodynamic damage penalties provide... Okay, same thing. Okay, same as the next gen. All right, supercars. We have 2 new cars, which comprise the brand new car class Supercars Gen 3, including the Supercars Chevrolet Camaro and the Supercars Ford Mustang Gen 3. Customers who had purchased the previous ones in the last year will get iRacing credits if customers own both cars or received credits independently for each car. If you've owned it longer than a year, 0%. If you owned it for half a year, 50%. 90 days, 75%. God damn it. These cars have a separate rain tire set optimized for performance on the wet. There's currently a known issue where swapping to the rain tire compound during a pit stop does not actually swap to the rain tire compound. Instead, a new set of the dry compound tires are applied. We are still teaching the pit crew the difference, but rest assured we'll have this patched imminently. Rain tire properties and aerodynamic properties have been updated for the Acura. New car! The Acura NSX GT3 Evo 22, a new sports car, is now available for purchase and racing. Building off the success of the original NSX GT3, which debuted in 2017 and won dozens of races and the IMSA GTD Championship, the Acura NSX GT3 Evo 22 made its debut for the 2022 IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship season. It ended its debut season with a checkered flag at the Petit Le Mans for Gradient Racing, who had already given the Evo 22 its first IMSA podium at Long Beach earlier in the year. And it added numerous other victories and championships in other series around the world that same year. The NSX GT3 Evo 22 refined its predecessor's reliable platform with retuned suspension geometry, upgraded intercoolers, and wheel system revisions, among other improvements. At its heart remains the Acura's 3.5 liter twin turbocharged V6 engine, capable of producing 520 horsepower. As with other GT3 machines, the car features adjustable traction control, anti-roll bars, and rear wing settings to help drivers maximize performance. I'm pretty sure that's why we're getting the car, unfortunately. That is the sad part about iRacing, is we do kind of get, like, the cars that they're no longer willing to, like, yeah, like, pulling. It's already pulled, yeah. For the Menard Chevy Gen 4 Cup, rev limiter parameters for D-Box and external lights have been updated. The BM2 CSR is now available for racing. BMW's modern racing pedigree extends to all levels of sports car racing ladder, not just the very highest ones. Its support for track day heroes and upcoming amateurs is no longer apparent than in the M2 CSR. Oh my god, I actually just realized I've never said this word out loud. Holy crap. Homologated? Homologated. That doesn't sound right either. Homologated? Homologated? For TCX class racing and competing internationally in its own M2, yeah, it is essentially its own its own class. So it will be. It's kind of like it's like a single class, like the Toyota, like the GRA. What is it? The GR82 or whatever. 86, GR86. Is that what it was? Yeah. So it's its own. This is its own. Like, this is like D class, maybe rookie class. I don't remember what this is going to be. But I know that it's going to be like a low class. Yeah. And it also has rain. BMW external vehicle textures have been updated with darker plastics and toning down weathering effects for the BMW M4 GT3. Light maps have been updated for the M8 GTE. BMW Hybrid V8 rain tires have been updated. Aerodynamics have been updated. Ride height sensors have been updated to match our standards. Bottom of the skids at axle center lines. Pit exit sounds have been improved. Fixed an issue where windshield wipers were shaking if driver arms were disabled. You know, that doesn't actually surprise me. As someone who has tried to do some stuff with like animations and stuff, that does not surprise me that that would happen. If anyone knows anything about IK systems are stupid at times. In fact, I found one during one of Derek's streams. Like an arm just stretched off into infinity where like the sun was. It was really weird. The Cadillac GTP, same as the BMW. All right, setups. IR18 auto fuel lap margin may now be edited in a fixed setup race. Thank God. All right, the LMP2. A full-scale vehicle systems revamp has been completed for the 2025 Season 1 to suit the IMSA 24 LMP2 rule set. Dry and wet tire model parameter and parameter update, along with significant reduction in the tire warmer temperature to 35 degrees Celsius. Take it easy on the outlap. Aerodynamics and ride height measurement points have been reevaluated. Low downforce package is now only available and forced to be used at Le Mans without dive planes fitted. Collision holes have been adjusted to coincide with the updated ride height sensor locations at the front and rear of the vehicle plank centerline. Mass and inertia properties have been refined to suit a minimum weight of 950 kilograms. Engine parameters have been updated to suit the new lower rev limits of 8,000 RPM for first to fifth gear and 8,500 RPM for sixth gear. Shift lights have been adjusted to suit. Gearbox shift timings have been updated, and the short stack gear option has been removed. Increased range of differential ramp options. The brake system has been refined with new brake pad definitions and the addition of optional master cylinder options. Suspension geometry has been refined and setup options simplified while retaining similar overall function. Bump rubber gaps are now only adjustable on the third elements, while both linear and non-linear third element options are available. Power steering option range has been reduced to 1 to 5 in line with the vehicle technical manual. Note, power steering assist steps remain the same as before, and the total level assistance remains similar. Damper ranges have been expanded to provide increased fidelity. Garage setup option tech tips have all been revised to suit. Pit stop refueling time has been adjusted to meet IMSA 24 rules. And dive planes and rear wing angle are now pit stop adjustable. Neat. Fixed an issue where the front tires could disappear when viewed from some cockpit cameras. iRacing setups have been updated. Dirt late model. For the damaged model, front suspension hyperextension limits have been reduced and rest deflection has been adjusted. The suspension system on opponent vehicles have been updated to move in alignment with their matching actual player car. For the Dirt Mini Stock, improved alignment of engine RPM lights across the simulator D-box and external hardware displays. Dirt Modified. The suspension system on opponent vehicles have been updated to move in alignment with their matching cars. Suspension thing. Ferrari 499P. Sports car racing fans from around the world rejoiced when Ferrari unveiled its 499P prototype in late 2022. After all, it ended a 50-year absence of factory-backed Ferrari prototypes competing at the sport's highest level, and the brand celebrated its return by adopting 50 as its flagship car number in the process. The 499P quickly established itself as a global force to be reckoned with, winning Le Mans in its first try in 2023, and going back-to-back the next year as well. As well as with other top-tier prototypes competing in the world's major global series, the 499P is powered by a 671 horsepower twin-turbo hybrid motor. Weighing in at just 1,120 kilograms. I almost said kilometers. Drivers will quickly cycle through its 7-speed sequential paddle shift to find top speed at long straightaways like those on the famed French circuit. Any driver who can find the limits on the 499P is among the best of the best in sports car racing, whether real or virtual. Yeah, I know. Everyone forgets about the 333. Also, this car is rain wet ready. Are you guys ready to get wet? I'm sure some of you are already. See, I called it, Scoot. The phrasing was right. The phrasing was right, Kohai. F4. The damaged model some friction parameters have been adjusted. The damper toolkit in the tooltip in the garage has been updated. Formula V is now rain ready. MX5. The AI version of this car has been improved its temperature modeling, make it more accurate and comparable to player-driven car. Indy Pro 2000. AI has been improved. The bottom of the engine frame has been raised slightly to help reduce impact of bottoming on the late model stock. Unfortunately, this will not help Frisky Frankie or most of you in chat. Lotus 49. Speed references to the gear calculator in the garage have been added to make ratio selection easier. Lotus 79. Tire parameters have been updated. The AI version of this car has been improved. I'm just going to leave it at that. 720S GT3 Evo. 2025 Season 1 balance of performance changes. Fuel consumption rate has been increased slightly and tire parameters have been modified slightly. Rear suspension droop has been reduced and previous setups are now obsolete. Damn. Rear droop for the W12 has been reduced slightly. Mini stock. When racing on dirt, tire wear has been reduced. Improvement of the alignment of engine RPM lights across the simulator have been improved. Engine power audio levels have been tuned. Droop, I imagine that's like the, is that something to do with like the axle and the suspension or something? Is that what that's about? Yeah, okay. Yep. Okay, I was on the right path then. Cool. Next gen Ford Mustang fixed an issue where the splitter could appear misaligned. 911 RSR fixed an issue where the digital display was not being self-lit. 963 GTP. Rain tire parameters updated, aerodynamics updated, updated textures for static wheels. SR10. No. Spec Racer Ford. The AI version of this car has improved its tire management modeling. We've all heard about this one already. Vehicle parameters have been updated, including updated tires, increased engine braking, smaller steps between anti-roll bar adjustments, updated dampers based on real-world data, and a new yaw-based aerodynamic side force model has been added. Minimum tire pressure has been increased to 19 from 17. Garage options has been split into separate tires and chassis tabs. So that's important to me. I imagine that with these changes, the car should be easier to drive. So those of you who have refused to do the Spec Racer Ford with me should do the Spec Racer Ford with me. Do it. Race it. Race it with me. Do it. Of course. I definitely think it... Oh, okay. Sam, thank you. Okay, so more front brake bias. Okay, got it. But that minimum tire pressure is going to be a massive change. Because, trust me on this... The difference between, I used to run 20 because it would just add that much more stability with it. So it should make the car a lot more stable under braking because 17 is like really low and it doesn't really get that high with how some of the stuff is modeled at the moment. Realistically, I think optimal pressure for the car is around 21 to 26-ish range, if I recall correctly, for like stability purposes. So... that'll be really nice. It might suck for the people who like racing it normally, but it should be nicer for folks wanting to get into it. SRX. Brakes are now adjustable during fixed setup sessions. Supercar Chevrolet Camaro Gen 3. I specifically mentioned it just for you, Ruska, by the way. Supercars has been Australia's premier touring series since the mid-1990s, gathering a passionate and devoted worldwide following over decades of close and exciting racing. Supercars Gen 3 regulations were first announced in 2020 before making their debut in time for the 2023 season. The new regulation set was a completely clean slate for the series, intended to cut costs and increase road relevance for the manufacturers and create closer racing with cars that were more challenging to drive. With the phase out of Holden brand in Australia, General Motors elected to replace the tenured Commodore model with the Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 as the brand's Supercars Gen 3 flagship. It marked the first time that Chevrolet had competed in the Supercars era, but quickly paid off as Shane Van Gisbergen gave the car its first win in its second race at Newcastle. The victory kicked off a 15-race winning streak for Camaro on the way to Chevrolet's first supercar manufacturer's title. The brand would repeat the feat in 2024, while Brody Kostecki and Will Brown would give it back-to-back drivers' titles. Supercars has been Australia's premier touring series since the mid-1990s, gathering a passionate and devoted worldwide following over decades of close and exciting racing. Supercars Gen 3 regulations were first announced in 2020 before making their debut in time for the 2023 season. The regulation set was a completely clean slate for the series, intended to cut costs, increase road relevance for manufacturers, and create closer racing with cars that were more challenging to drive. Ford's signature Mustang became its supercar model of choice in 2019, and its use in the series continued into Gen 3 regulation set. The all-new Gen 3 Mustang won the first race of the new era at Newcastle with Cameron Waters in 2023, and capped off that season with 4 wins in a row at Surfers Paradise and Adelaide. Chaz led the Ford Brigade in points in the car's first 2 seasons, with a sweep of Sydney Super Night in 2024, a highlight on the way to 3rd in points that season. Purchase the supercars Ford Camaro Gen 3 from the iRacing store today. AI drivers are fully trained for racing with this vehicle, and they are rain ready. What, would you have preferred the Chevrolet Mustang? Is that what you guys would have preferred, the Chevrolet Mustang Gen 3? You know someone's going to have to do that in paint now, right? Like, you guys are going to have to do that in the paint shop. You're just going to have to swap them. The Cord Camstang. The Ford Camstang. I had to say it. I'm sorry. I am never going to be able to... I'm never going to be allowed to do a reading for iRacing. I am never going to be able to say this. Listen, I'm sorry. You can blame Reska, okay? Reska, you're the one that said Camstang! I blame Reska on this entirely. 100%. 100%. I mean, you're right. But you're telling me that that's not close. Derek, please don't look at me like that. I feel like Derek's just shaking his head, or Derek had me up in front of other people. Please don't tell me you had me in front of other people. Oh God, I'd be embarrassed. Okay, thank God. All right, cool. All right. Well, then I feel better. SF23. Retime has been increased to 120 seconds while running at Fuji International Speedway Mobility Resort Motegi per 2024 regulations. Fixed an issue where wing angle was not getting reset to the default value between loading setups. Super late model. For the damaged model, the front suspension hyperextension limits have been reduced and rest deflection has been adjusted. Don't bonk me. All right, let's get into tracks. Atlanta Motor Speedway added a safe entry rule for pit road, so cars must approach pit road using the apron in turns 3 and 4.
Hydrate.
Yeah, I kind of deserve being. Oh my gosh, you guys. The pit in Wheelin' Light has been relocated to its new home at the entrance of Turn 3. By the way, when I upload this to YouTube, I am cutting that part out. FYI. Oh God. But you guys can keep the clip. It's fine. Was that a Vive one? No. It should have been. It should have been a. It was a gloved hand. Yeah, that's what it should be. The pit wheeling line has been relocated to its new home at entrance of Turn 3. Brands Hatch Circuit. A barrier has been added to the Joker exit to prevent some drivers from merging too early and earning a 2-lap penalty. Thank you. Chili Bowl. Fixed an exploit where racers could cut through the pit lane without receiving a cut course penalty. Le Mans. 1X for having 4 wheels off of the racing surface has been added to the exit of Turn 8. The slowdown checkpoints have been extended to the edge of the gravel. As part of the dynamic track debris refresh project, Le Mans is pioneering a new technique where we manually deposit appropriate debris on the track before an event begins. This adds a new layer of realism to track races at this track. Can we do this with Daytona? I'm actually going to look and see if we do this at Daytona. We're going to find out shortly. Rallycross for Barcelona. Fixed a tire barrier that would spawn partially on the track surface. Start, finish, and Joker trusses are now solid objects. Watch out! I did not realize that they weren't. So, horrifying. Zandvoort. Fixed an issue where several catch fences were only part of the spirit world and lacked corporeal form. Spa. Some giant trackside helmet objects have been moved. The slowdown penalty for the duration of cutting the bus stop has been increased. Fixed a critical loading issue with this track. Fixed an issue where drivers could get a slowdown penalty for simply driving normally at this track configuration. Update the track location to correctly indicate the province of where it is. I'm not even going to try to say that. Also, I still need to report a bug that I experienced, and I don't know if it's actually there. I don't know if it was ever fixed. There was an issue that was only in VR where the first pit stall garage in the endurance layout, I think. Basically, the first pit lane, not the second pit lane. The first pit stall would have like a see-through garage door that would basically let you look through the interior of an empty building. And I don't know if that ever got fixed or if I ever reported that, so I might have to still report that. I just never got around to it because I'm a busy bee who is constantly busy with random stuff. Daytona International Speedway fixed an issue where speeding in the pits penalties could be avoided by speeding on the grass nearby instead. Yeah, I want to see if it's still there though, Derek, and I'm going to wait until after the patch just to make sure, because I don't want to send you all on a goose chase. I'll be testing it tomorrow as part of testing out everything else. So I'll just check it just to make sure though. Homestead Miami Speedway. Some gravel traps have been removed, and a new paved runoff area has been added. Oh, that's neat. Okay. Hungaroring Circuit. In line of what I just said about the Mustang earlier, it has been a year. Ruska, I think it's been a year now. Has it been a year? Is it the year anniversary of that image? Of the edit I did with the giant text that I'm not going to repeat now that I've already said one horrifying thing on stream. I'm not going to say it. I'm already embarrassed by the first one. What? You don't want to say it, Reska? It's been 1 year since... Anyways, Hungaroring. Revised extended surface types which should fix inconsistent 1X behavior. All paved runoff should now give 1X when all 4 tires cross the white line or back edge of curbing. There's an image that we made because it was silly. All right, Hussett Speedway, named after farmer and businessman Till Hussett. Hussett Speedway was built in 1953 and opened the next year. As with so many of America's premier dirt ovals, the track was built out of former farmland. By the way, I want to also mention really quickly, I don't dislike the Fords. I just thought it was funny because he said Camp Stang. Okay, I just want to make that clear. In this case, a soybean field and this track was built out of former farmland, in this case, a soybean field, and has hosted many of the top national series in the country, including the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series. After a brief stint as the Badlands Motor Speedway in the mid-2010s and subsequent closure, the track was rescued in the summer of 2020 by Todd, I am not saying his name, who returned top-level sprint car racing to South Dakota circuit quickly thereafter. Hussett Speedway measures in as a high-banked one-third-mile bull ring. It typically hosts both weekly and national-level racing through Labor Day weekend. The Hussett's High Bank Nationals and Hussett's Hustle, that is such a clever name, for sprint cars each offer six-figure payouts to their winners. And while Silver Dollar Nationals pays $75,000 to win for the top late model racers, adding to the track's prestige, Todd also prominently displays the Hussett's brand on his Big Game Motorsports 410 sprint car on the World of Outlaws National Tour, where he and driver David Gravel. Imagine being a dirt driver named David Gravel. Have teamed up for dozens of checkered flags in recent seasons. Also, they have night lighting. Atlanta fans have to be pissed. Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Tighten checkpoints and rules regarding the pit exit at oval and open wheel oval. Oh, 5 flag. Oh, yeah. Atlanta did get it, didn't they? Yeah, that's right. Oval and open wheel oval. Images have been added to the rules tab to show the limits of that. Yeah. Oh, 5 Flags has night lighting. It just sucks. Okay. Iowa Speedway fixed an issue where an antennae was not rendering correctly at a distance. Knock Hill Racing Circuit. Rallycross updated the service type for the pit lane. Fixed an issue where race control was handing out penalties that could not be served. Dang. Savage. Misano. Work it. Wow. I merged world and circuit. Guys, I did not take my ADHD medication today, by the way. This is why I'm struggling today, okay? A bigger slowdown penalty has been added for blasting through the gravel in turn 1-3 complex. New Hampshire Motor Speedway. This is what I'm super excited about. Also, I'm going to go ahead and do a sales pitch right now. New Hampshire is one of the most surprising and underrated tracks on the iRacing, in the entire iRacing system. It is some of the best oval racing I personally think you can get because it has at least 2 lanes. They are middle lanes, but you can also kind of run the low and the high line there a little bit. But it is a track that has multiple lanes, and it also has one of the best roval layouts that is on the entire service, with it actually exiting the roval versus being an interior roval. So it actually leaves the roval and has like a really high banked hairpin corner similar to that of Atlanta Rallycross, which I just really appreciate. So in slower cars, in your standard like street cars, your stuff like the SRF, the Skip Barbers, the Vs, the Formula Fords, pretty much anything that's like GT4 or lower, it is one of the most fun road courses that you can get on the service. And I highly recommend that if you want to just have a track that does oval, that does road, and you need something that's fun, I would highly recommend getting New Hampshire. Anyways, this track has received a full-scale art overhaul and has been updated to match the 2024 real-world appearance. Buildings, trackside objects, and decorations have been updated. Trees, shrubs, 3D foliage have been updated and added. All textures and shaders and lighting have been updated to our current artistic standards. Track surface bump map has been regenerated. So while it is not a rescan, it will have a new bump map. Also, I doubt that it's going to be much different in terms of a rescan anyways, because as we all know, in New Hampshire, they never repave their roads. Don't tread on me. Sorry, I lived out in New York for a bit, and I drove out to New Hampshire to do a CompTIA A+ certification test, and it was the worst roads I've ever driven on in my life. They were awful. I'm sorry, New Hampshire. You have a really pretty state, but your roads are terrible. Okay? That's why we pay taxes elsewhere. Maximum number of starters for Legends has been increased to 24. Olton Park Circuit. Updated Turn 3 off-track penalty to be more lenient. Phoenix Raceway. Some yellow line textures have been updated. Removed an errant white line in the dogleg. Removed an obsolete banner. Also, speaking of Phoenix, and this is another one I need to bring to like Derek and everyone else's attention. I guess the slowdown penalty for cutting the course at the Rallycross track is really short because someone legit did that. I'm pretty sure it's already been reported. I'm sure you guys already have it because I'm sure the second place driver was pissed enough to actually file that report, but I still have that replay and I need to go show that at some point. So that is just a reminder to myself to go do that because I did not do that. Road America. Oh my God, wasn't I just talking about this? Wasn't I just talking about this literally yesterday or 2 days ago when we did Skip Barber's? Or is that Road Atlanta? Yeah, no, I was just talking about this. Ruska. I was literally commenting that. I was like, you'll be really cool. This is a track that really needs 3D grass because we were going over the hill. And I was like, this would make 3D glass would make this hill look a little bit more full. That's funny. Yeah. Okay, we got it at Road America, Road Atlanta, Road Skogan has 3D foliage now. Saxon Ring. Barney, the legendary flagman, has finally arrived at this track. We suspect he just needed a short vacation, and what better way to spend it than touring the German countryside. Slinger Speedway. A duplicate imposter Barney, legendary flagman, has been exiled from this track. There can only be one. Figure 8. Fixed an issue where Barney... Why is Barney having so many issues? Barney, legendary flagman, appeared to be leaning on an invisible object. You know, honestly, Reska, that Barney was pretty sus. Mogus. Thruxton! A new asphalt road track, Thruxton Circuit, is now available for purchase and racing. Hampshire. England's Thruxton's... What? Hampshire, England's Thruxton Circuit. That's really hard to say. Thruxton Circuit, located in Hampshire, England, traces its history back to 1950, when the former RAF, I'm going to say RAF, fuck it, former RAF Thruxton Airfield home base for many key Allied efforts during World War II, first saw use in motorcycle. Why is this so? Okay, you know what? I'm going to drink. Hold on. First saw use in motorcycle races. The main circuit was established in 1968 following the outline of the airfield's perimeter road. It currently hosts major British touring car and superbike events each summer. God, Cobb, you distract. You know what? I'm gonna get that thing that makes it so it bleeps me out automatically. By the way, I need that. I really need that. Like where it just cuts. Superbike events each summer, as well as series like F4 British Championship and TCR UK. Befitting a circuit built around active runways, Thruxton is known as the fastest circuit in the UK. No, you're okay, Cobb. It's fine. It's more of me cussing earlier. I shouldn't be cussing during these streams. I don't want to be, because I want to be able to actually provide these to other to people like of all ages, you know, and also YouTube. While its race lap record is still over a minute, owing to the levels of racing it typically hosts, there's potential for much faster time and higher class equipment with its gradual curves. Damon Hill turned a lap of 57.6 seconds with an average speed of over 147 miles per hour in his Williams FW15C in 1993 that serves as the unofficial track record. Watkins Glen. Oh, we got a Watkins Glen update. All right. Track's surface bump map has been regenerated. Fixed 2 uneven curves near an asphalt patch on the inside of turn 2 and turn 4. Bus stop brake markers have been adjusted so they no longer clip into the Armco barrier. Pit-in light has been moved to match the real-world location across from the pit-in timing line. Turn 8 brake markers have been nudged up slightly so they can be seen better. The 3D foliage system has been seeded at this track. The start-finish line logo has been updated with the correct black background. Some track marshals have been excised from solid objects. Turn 1 brake markers have been nudged so they connect with the fence nicely. A missing rain drain has been added to the exit of Turn 8. And then Legacy Phoenix Raceway 2008. Grounded some floating tire bundles. Fixed the display name of this track configuration in the simulator. Rallycross. Fixed an issue where the tire barrier near the exit of the Joker lap would fall through the world when the simulation finished loading. Oh, interesting. Okay. Fixed a display issue where this track name in the simulator. And that so ends this build. Now, I have to say this. From what I read on here, this feels like it's partially a... I'm going to say this is definitely more of a... As much as, like, I really appreciate the debris refresh, this feels like a maintenance build. And that's what we need sometimes, right? Like, we need a maintenance build. We don't always need, like, entirely new features. And there is some new features within existing features. So, like, the dirt refresh is impressive on its own. I honestly think that is going to be a pretty big game changer. I would like to see that new Le Mans feature where they put where they place bits of marbling and dirt and stuff on the side of the tracks. I'd like to see that also for Daytona, because Daytona Turn 1 now has like a little bug where like you can take Turn 1 really, really wide. And I think by default, just having that like that might actually stop people from taking that super wide line. Yeah, all that does is make the hard shoulder unrunnable. And yeah, and like that's the thing though, is it's designed to make positioning a little bit more realistic too, right? Like that's the point of that sort of system, right? It's to like take away unrealistic options that you would normally get by people running a track, either because that's just how it normally is, because cars drive it normally when it's not a racetrack, right? And then alternatively, you would also have it like be something where it's like, well, people are running it during the weekend. And so you would want to have like the marbling and dirt buildup that you would normally have there because of a race weekend, right? I think that gets rid of some unrealistic lines and such. I'm hoping that the tire pickup also improves some of the, some of the weird cuts that people make, even on the grass, right? I feel like a lot of that is attributed to that. I'd also like to see that eventually turn into rutting, like if if people are repeatedly running like the corner apex of like a really tight corner and they keep running over the curb into the grass. I'd like to see that rut out so they'd actually start bottoming out even. Like that's where I'd like to see that. Exactly, yeah. That's what I'm saying, because it's public roads. Yep. Yeah, so I think that alone in this build, this alone is probably the biggest improvement we're going to see across the entire sim. I think this will be definitely a comfort change. And then if this does what I think it does with the sunlight, I think this will be one of those surprising hits where people don't think much of it, but I think it'll massively improve how the sim looks in a lot of like evening and if it works the way that they're saying it works, and I think that it works, right? So I think this will be like one of those surprising changes that like people will be like, wow, this change? Must have been the tone mapping change. Like they'll say it's tone mapping change. That's what I think will happen. They'll think it's tone mapping. I think they'll misunderstand. But if that actually prevents like the sun appearing through in shadowed areas where it's not supposed to be hitting the ground, this will be a big change for the graphics. Like I think it'll be an underrated and highly appreciated change if it does what I think it does. I'll have to check it out tomorrow when the patch comes out. But I think this will be one of those how do I put it? I think this would be one of those ones that'll sneak up on folks. This one will be really cool for people that need that information and don't want to use crew chief, because I don't use crew chief anymore. This will be nice for the single player drivers. And then of course we got some really good content this time too. Hi Frankie. Toot-toot-oo. Honestly, really excited for this build. Like, this is just a solid, like, I'm not gonna say that there's like, it's nothing like really incredibly special, but like the debris refresh is special. Like, that is a big change. IndyCar stuff, not really. I mean, everything that is going to affect IndyCar is like more like it affects everything. Because this was more of like a maintenance and I'm gonna say back end systems update. It didn't really target cars that much. Like, there's some car changes definitely, but it's not as like, obviously the LMP2 is gonna be massively different, and the SRF also has some big changes. But like, in terms of like existing content, where would it be? Is it under Delara? I don't even think we have a, yeah. Auto fuel may be edited in a fixed setup race. So, yeah, no, like the big changes are like more overarching, affects everything changes, in my opinion. I think that's where this is going to be a good build in that regard. Like, I don't think, is it as big as like something like rain coming out? Is it as big as like, you know, is it as big as like new, like a lot of the other systems that people have been asking for, like new flags and race control systems and stuff like that? No, but like the debris system itself, I think, is going to be massive in terms of how it's going to affect how people drive over long, like, endurance races. Yeah, actually, yeah, if you want to see that, I'm just going to do it tomorrow, because I know exactly what the issue is, so I can point it out really easily tomorrow. That'll be fun to do in my head, in my opinion. Sorry, not my head. Yeah, just a lot of good changes here. Like, this is just a solid, like, did it fix all of the issues? No. But I would actually be really upset to see people complaining about this. I personally think this is exciting. What do you guys think so far? Like, what do you guys think of what is in this patch notes? I think honestly this is a solid push forward. I think if the changes do what we're expecting them to do, I'm like, it'll be one of those things that I think will just fix some, I think it fixes some immersion things for me. You know, like, I feel like this is just good stuff. I feel like people are still going to be like wanting stuff like the LMDH improvements. I think they're going to still want LMDH to like get like a proper hybrid systems and stuff. Like, I think that's going to be a complaint that comes up. I'm sure that there's going to be someone like, it's time for it. It's going to be like, it's time for iRacing to add proper hybrid to GTP or something, right? Well, it's kind of, yeah, it's basically the same. The audio is different, at least. At least you get the hybrid kick in. I think for engine level stuff, though, like if we're talking like game engine level stuff, like SSAO improvements, MSAA improvements, all that stuff, this is going to be a really good build for that stuff, though. This is good for like things that'll impact the entire service. And I think that this is a great update for that. So this will be interesting to see. Yeah. This should be tomorrow. Doesn't say it's delayed anymore, so doesn't say it's delayed at all. So hopefully we'll get it. And we also have some audio improvements, so that's gonna be cool. That'll be interesting to hear. Yeah, it's a solid update. I feel like I read more of these things than actual updates, though. Debris tomorrow too. Yep. And we got some netcode improvements, and we got, yeah, just a lot of, it's just a good update. It's just a really solid update. I don't know what else to say about that. Where am I seeing what? Yeah, it's in the forums. There's just so much, but there's also like, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not everything that everyone wants, but it's still going to be like, in my opinion, like, I'm excited to play around with the, you know what? Does this mean that we could have gravel as a new surface type? For rally. Demo drive will basically be the same as test drive. It's just a little bit easier to access. But I'm excited for them pushing forward, for at least making it easier to access rather than having to make a separate account for it. So I think that'll be nice, and more people will know of it. Yeah, it's open test drive, but it's still during maintenance, so it's not like the big test drive that everyone wants. But like, I think it's a solid step forward for them to actually implement something with that, like a timer system. No, it literally. When we leave maintenance mode, demo drive will remain running for a period of time, and a countdown will appear to let drivers know how long it'll remain up. Navigation links to and from demo drive will be available in iRacing when demo drive is available. Also, Derek would know. Derek is my confirmation. But yeah, no, it is still going to work the same way as the previous test drive. It's just now they're going to tell us how long it's going to remain open. So it will be accessible during maintenance mode through the UI, and it will, yeah. So. But yeah, just to clarify that it's not by the way, I don't want you to think I'm like angry or anything. It's just, it's more of a, I just want to make sure that y'all know that information. You can tell your friends that information too, because we don't want to pass that information, and have people get their hopes up and then be utterly destroyed and disappointed when that's not the case. And it's kind of funny because I think Tombstone brought it up in my iRacing, in my Discord channel, for the Foxbox Discord. Tombstone brought that up, and he's like, yeah, hopefully it'll do this. I'm like, I don't think so. They have the maintenance status on the bottom. That was the first thing I saw, was when they had the demo drive, and they had I feel like one of the early access streamers probably saw that and thought that it was a permanently accessible system. So I feel like that's probably where the confusion's coming from, is some of the early access streamers probably alluded to that. But I would have noticed, the thing that I noticed when I first saw it, because Tombstone posted it about an hour or two before the release notes came out, I think. Let me actually double check that. When did he post that? Where is it? It was posted at 12, and I got the release notes from, so about 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours before the release notes went up. And it has the maintenance status at the bottom, and that's what made me go, nah, it's definitely going to be only while maintenance is open, because it's going to alert you when maintenance is there. So definitely not a permanently accessible thing, though. I still contend that we should get at least like a per season, like 20 minutes per car or 10 minutes per car to test it out and play with something. But that's for future iRacing to figure out if they want to do something like that or not. Yep, you missed all of the patch notes. We're done. Like I said, overview is, honestly, I think it's going to be a good update. I'm really excited for this. I'm excited for New Hampshire. I don't know about y'all, but this is probably one of the most exciting tracks to get an update, next to like Summit Point, if that ever got an update, because that is We also just need to get rid of the Shadow Realm. I'm sorry. The Shadow Realm just needs to go away. New Hampshire, New Hampshire. New mouse for I listen. I get that, but I'm talking like free tracks, and Summit Point is just that. Summit Point is the track that looks like it's from 2008. It is the track that looks like it's from 2008. That would be trolling all of us, Kohai. Not gonna lie. Plus, Knuckles Jordan's track. We can't change that. That's the joke. That's the only reason why. I think that's the reason why it's the only paid track on the track series list. We should have. You know what? Thruxton, second season. Yes, second season, Thruxton. By the way, going to go ahead and just do that little sales pitch. VTCR track. We do TCR racing with VTubers. Join. It's on SimGrid. You cuties. There we go. Yeah, thank you for putting in your sales link there. It's every Saturday. We run every Saturday. Non-VTubers are also welcome. And if you're a PNG tuber, you count. You count. You count if you're a PNG tuber, by the way. Like, technically, Kai Cenat is eligible to join as a VTuber for VTCR. More than Jimmy Broadbent is at this moment. If Jimmy Broadbent wants to become a VTuber, have him reach out to me. I can help him. We actually do have a list of sim racing VTubers, Dee. We have the sim racing VTuber wiki. Listen, I think if I practiced, I could probably at least stay up to Jimmy if I practiced. I'm not saying I could beat him, but I could at least stay within like a couple seconds. Oh, for the series. Yeah, actually, I think the SimGrid does. Yeah, they are split on the. Yeah, so the reason why everyone has to register as a non-VTuber is because they manually add people to the VTubers. Yeah. So like we are split. It's just they have to manually confirm that you're a VTuber and that you've streamed as a VTuber sometime in like the last whatever. And you have to be a VTuber while you're streaming the VTCR if you're going to be in the VTuber championship. So I think that's generally the rule. I'm like running over my cables here. Hold on. I'm like struggling. I'm painfully struggling to not be. My cables are all curling up right now, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's weather or like small amount of electricity being sent through my floor. I've been worried about that a little bit. Using my stove makes my computer turn off. It's great. It's fun. But yeah, that ends the reading. Sales pitch time, I guess. Support iRacing, supporting Linux. That's all. I heard a rumor though. Someone told me that apparently what was it? Steve Myers apparently said something about that in an interview, I guess. So it has my hopes up a little bit. I know it's low priority, but it had my hopes up based off of that rumor. So I'm not gonna say that that's a thing, but that'd be cool. Just saying. Though I still need to get my software to work on it, so the longer it takes, the less I have to worry about doing that anytime soon. And I can focus on the other stuff, like getting the new rig materials working right, and getting a rig loader. That'd be nice. Like standardizing the rigs so that the rigs can load properly. That'd be cool, right? Like being able to adjust the rigs on the fly so that people can have different adjustments and be able to put like their own wheels and stuff on things. That would be cool. Yeah. Huh? That'd be nice. Make a desktop version so that the rest of you can also be sim racing VTubers like me. And not have to use VSteer. And also add like throwing stuff and make it work like the other apps, but also not as, you know, more just sim racing available. So Cobb 90. All right. Anyways, I don't know what else to talk about. I don't know if I want to stream more or if I just wanted to do this. I've been here for 2 hours reading notes. So it's 4. I could just rest a little bit more. Or I could play Helldivers 2. I don't know. What do you guys want? Do you guys want me to rest? I'll go rest like a Tamagotchi. I also need to readjust my eyes here. Hold on. There we go. You're gonna head off to bed. Yeah, I mean, you did like a lot of GTP racing earlier or whatever, right? Like you were doing the LMUs. You were driving the 499P, I think, in that, right? Like that looked like a lot. That looked like a handful. Looked like it was doing a lot. Yeah, it's something else I need to also try at some point. It's one of those ones that I want to give like a legit try just to, you know, because like I feel like I need to I still feel like I need to be like a bit unbiased. Like I can't be, you know, I can't be Augie. Like even if I'm going to be a fan of something, I have to be realistic about like, okay, this is what this other sim does. This is what my favorite sim does. Like, you have to be a little bit balanced, you know? Like you can't just be like, oh yeah, no, everything else is crap. You know, you can't do that. You know? It's rude. It's disrespectful. Anyways, I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts? What do you guys... You know what? We didn't ask. What do you guys think of the new release notes? What do you guys think of the new updates? Is there anything that you're specifically excited about? Or is there, you know, something that you wish that iRacing would have had? Like, what are your thoughts? Everyone go ahead and just spew your thoughts. Just launch your thoughts. Just throw them out there. Like a dart. At my heart. Yep. Nope. I feel that. M2 DDM. What about M2? Are you saying that like M2? I want you. Yeah. Yeah. More rain support. I mean, I'm glad that like the new cars all get it, and like we got the V. Honestly, you know what? Actually, I'm still sad about. They still haven't figured out a way to do the visor thing, for rain. Like I still am waiting for that, but I know that like that takes time. But that'd be really cool in VR. I think if they got that right. So I'm like accepting that they're taking the time to get it right, but also I'm still a little sad we don't have it. Plus, no rain in the SRF still. I was kind of hoping we'd get that with the refresh that they did on the SRF. I was kind of hoping for rain, because that is a car that races in the rain in real life, and it's a slower car, so I thought that'd be cool to have, but I'm still a little sad about that. Let's see. Open wheel cars are lacking it. Yeah. Spending a lot of time trying to get used to the prototypes in VR. Yeah. It takes some time, and like people think that like VR just automatically gives you like a lot more visibility around like the A pillars, and it does not. In fact, I feel sometimes like I have less because I am strong eye in my right eye. And so that means the right B pillar or the right A pillar, to me, I can never see around it. Like they're like, all right, VR, you can see around these things. No. Because also if you're using a direct drive wheel, you don't want to move around with your body, right? You want to kind of stay strong and centered so that you're not like abusing your muscles and straining something. M2 CSR, they put a good touring car in iRacing. Yeah, it's going to be a fun car, I think. Rain for the W13. Yeah, F1 needs one. Honestly, I'd love to see iRacing somehow work out a deal with FIA to be like the racing simulator for F1, and then maybe have like, like allow like still like EA and Codemasters can still do like their F1 games. Like that'd be nice. That'd be nice to see, in my opinion. Like I'd like to see iRacing get like a full F1 car field. That'd be cool. In my opinion, like it's nice having the one, but it also is kind of meh when you think about it. If you want older cars, buy the current old cars. If you want 90s DTM, buy the current. Oh. Huh. My tie reappeared. Ain't that neat? But yeah, no, buy the current old stuff. Show that you want it. Buy Mount Washington. Buy Mount Washington. Everyone buy Mount Washington. Buy Mount Washington. Do it. It's a fun track. They should add 3D grass to Mount Washington. I actually was really sad that I only had like a couple hours to do that NLR run up Mount Washington. That was such a fun little attempt though. Like I was like, oh, I'm gonna try hard Mount Washington, gain 3 seconds, still 15 seconds off the pace. Oh god. 8 pillars are thick. Yeah, they are. And people think that you could just see around them and you can't. I proved this. I showed that. It's like a centimeter or two. You really can't see around them. It's not much different. Eyes are not that far apart. They should copy those race room super tourings into iRacing. No one will notice if they just steal the models. Honestly, I would. iRacing models are kind of specific and they're really particular, and it's really noticeable when you go from iRacing to another game. It's really noticeable. H pattern shifter though, I do approve of more H pattern cars. I agree. They don't necessarily need all 10, but a generic FOM body like the Cody's games have would suffice. Yeah, actually, you're right. That would be cool. Like a paintable one, that'd be cool. Like I'd be down with that. Like a proper F1 car that like it follows the main rules of FIA. That like the F4 car, that'd be nice. Yeah, something that's paintable, something that we could run like full season with. Would also be cool if we got some cool like I'm gonna be honest. As much as I don't care for all the silly little like how do you put it, the festivities of F1 in like the F1 Cody games versus how they drive, it would be cool to see some of it a little bit though. I would agree with that myself. They should add George Washington to Mount Washington. That would be funny. The triple kill I did on Saturday shows VR can't fix stupid. Oof. You'll be able to get esports with it as well. Exactly. I still think that iRacing should be the main stewards of it. FIA should be there to just like be like, we provided the rule set. And that's it. Like, that's what I think I think that's how FIA should treat any sort of partnership with iRacing. They should just be there to help iRacing build the rule book, but iRacing should be the one enforcing it and also making decisions on like the final say of what's in the rule book, because they know esports a little bit better. You know what I mean? So like, that's where I would like to see it. I know that FIA likes to, get their hands in there and be more hands-on with that, but listen, I'm going based off of the Formula One, questionnaire that they did where they asked like, would you want FIA to be involved with the esports ruling or would you want someone else? It's like, someone else, anyone but you, literally anyone but you. Like, do not touch this. You do not know what you're doing. Like, it's just one of those things. Yeah, exactly. Now let's hold off on jokes like that. That's all. But I agree. Meanwhile, the IMSA esports series on the iRacing platform, but run by IMSA. Like, IMSA I trust a little. It's weird. Like, I weirdly am like okay with that, but it's just weird. Like, because NASCAR, I'm pretty sure NASCAR handles the broadcast. I thought, right? Like, or they handle more like the broadcasting rules, or does iRacing just handle the broadcast and NASCAR handles the rules? Like, how does the esports for NASCAR work? I actually don't know. It's been a while since I've actually looked. I don't pay attention as much as I used to because I've been focused on trying not to die. Okay, that's all iRacing? Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, cool. All right, yeah, I mean, it sounds like reasonable stuff, but like I think overall this is a solid patch, like I said. I'm excited. I'm excited for debris. I wanna mess with debris more. That'll be fun. You know what I miss though? I miss not being able to run rain on Mount Washington, though. That was cool. That was neat. You could build you could have like a river of rain. There was a river. of rain. Could you imagine? Actually, I was like, so it was kind of funny. We were coming down, Pikes Peak in real life, and it started to snow at the top, and obviously there was some sleet and some rain on the way down, because once you get closer down, yeah. And I got to see some of the drain systems running, and that was really kind of neat because the road was wet, but it wasn't like, oh, covered in water. But you look to the right and you just see this flood of flowing water in the drain pipes. And it's like, wow, if iRacing could model something like that with Pikes Peak in the future, that would be so cool. And that was just so neat to see. And it's a terrifying drive up. Like, I'ma be honest, I don't think any example of Pikes Peak that I've done has felt like it climbs as much as it does IRL. Like, it feels clamped in other games now that I've been in it, and I've gone back and I've done them after actually going up Pikes Peak. It's like, because I live an hour away from Pikes Peak, all right? Like, I'm not that far away from it, so I can literally go drive it right now if I had $55 to go do that. Or maybe it's $30. I don't know. Is it $20 per person and $55 per car? Or I don't remember. It's a toll road, yeah. It's considered a toll road because they have maintenance for it. So it's basically a toll road for basically the maintenance of it and to maintain also like to do other stuff like scanning it and stuff. Like I think they've been laser scanning it. But like, honestly, like getting iRacing out there to do it would be probably kind of cool because then they could probably do more of a scan for like Pikes Peak itself. And like, because they've been wanting to do scanning for like ecological purposes. And I think if they were able to somehow work with iRacing for that, that would be kind of cool. I'm just saying, like, something beneficial for that. It'd probably be a bigger project than anyone would think is valuable, but I would like it. I would think it's cool. Yeah, go leave a comment there. Show your support. Other than that, yeah, that's it. That's literally it. That's all I got. I have nothing else for this stream. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take off for a little bit to go and just rest for the day. So I can be ready for tomorrow and the next day because I still kind of woke up a little groggy today. There's some projects that I still want to kind of try and finish up on, many of which are actually kind of closing completion. I also need to update the shader for my... It was in general, the general banter. I appreciate you all being here for this reading. I am so sorry for some of the jokes that were made during this. Normally, this is a very PG-13 read. But I got a little too hyped up, and I'm sorry. So that will not happen next time. These will be PG going forward, FYI. So, I'm going to be working on that a little bit. All right? So, I appreciate you all being here, though. I appreciate you guys enjoying these, and I hope you guys go get some rest, all right? Be safe, be kind, have a good week. Enjoy your patch weeks. I'll be obviously streaming tomorrow once the patch is either live or maybe a little bit prior to it. We'll see. Depends on when I wake up. I'll try and do it earlier in the day. Also, make sure you guys go support Derek E_TTV. He's been doing the Extra Life charity this week. So make sure you go support that. I do like to call out streamers that I know that are doing charities specifically, but also go support, of course, the Mirai folks. We have our moderator here, Kohai, Dirty Kohai, occasionally does iRacing. Everybody does. A lot of people in this chat do iRacing. Sam Winton's also really cool. Cobb, obviously. We have DD. We have Reska, of course. Yeah, Reska, damn, you should try iRacing. I saw you sign up. You haven't raced yet, but you're already 4K in Oval. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, Sam Winton sounds like some sort of nerd. Obviously, Frisky Frankie, he'll be doing more races with me this season as we do IndyCar Championship in one of the leagues that we're joining for the 2025 season. Yeah, Derek tried it for the first time the other day. It was crazy. Can't believe that was the first time since, you know, you wrecked me. How dare you? Though, admittedly, a certain water barrel in this chat also wrecked me, so, you know. Didn't you wreck me? Didn't you wreck me at Charlotte? Didn't you wreck me at Charlotte? I'm pretty sure you wrecked me at Charlotte in the SRX. You did wreck me in this, Charlotte, and that's right. Do you still, by the way, do you still have the water barrel as your Twitch background or your Twitter background? Do you still have that as your Twitter background? That is the best edit I've ever made, in my opinion. Oh, no. I don't even know if I still have that. That's the problem. I don't even know if I still have that anywhere. I can't even show it off. So, but yeah, I did make him a water barrel because you're yellow and black like the Charlotte water barrels. I'm just saying. I photoshopped him in the driver's seat of his SRX after that, where we're side by side with each other. I should have photoshopped myself in there, even my avatar. I should have photoshopped myself so that it looked like I was racing a water barrel. That'd be funnier. Anyways, yeah, no, I'm tired. I'm ranting and rambling now. Again, I appreciate you guys all being here for this. I hope you guys find joy in these readings, and I'll keep doing them every quarter as long as you guys want me to. Obviously, I'm still struggling to find employment, and it's December, so basically there's like essentially 2 weeks that are even possible. So I have basically a week to find a job. So like when you really think about it, because everyone's basically going on vacation the last 2 weeks of the month for the most part. I mean, I'm sure not everyone, but like a lot of major corporations just probably don't even hire around that time at all. So, if y'all can still support the cost of living or anything, I'd appreciate that. But beyond that, see you guys tomorrow. And, well, for 2 streams tomorrow, because iRacing and Foxbox Tuesday. And then I'll see you guys, I don't know, we'll see about Wednesday for more patch build stuff if I want to. And definitely Thursday because streaming with Frankie, and then Saturday if I join for VTCR, or if I don't because friends and stuff, you know. So, all right, be safe. Bye. Actually, wait, we need to go find if I can raid anyone. Hold on. Wait, I was just about to leave you guys without raiding anyone. Like that's terrible. How could I? There's barking going on. Who do I raid? You know what? Let's go raid. You know what? We're gonna go raid someone in my in Eldenwood. Let's go do that. Let's go see who's active right now. That's me. That's not me. It's not me. You know what? Zwarhart, I think, has raided me before, so let's go raid Zwarhart. How about that? They're playing Cuisinier? Looks like a cuisine isometric game? That looks neat. That looks comfy. Let's go raid that. Let's go raid them. All right. See you guys. Bye, everyone. Be safe. Be kind. Be nice to people. Wah. Nom.